Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another Starcraft 2 broadcast. My name is Anaris, and today we're here watching the third game in the best of 3 match series between LosirA of Team Incredible Miracle spawning against the Red Protoss opponent iNControL of Team Evil Geniuses. Like I said, this is the final match of the best of 3 series, so whoever wins this is gonna move on, take home the bacon, and, well, maybe if they go buy it, I don't know if either one of them actually wants the bacon, but if they do, they can visit their local supermarket. But more importantly, they will move on to the next round here for the MLG Columbus weekend. Now, we're 1-1. Pretty interesting game so far. Game number 1, LosirA did take an early lead on Shakura's Plateau with 2 fairly epic Zergling run-bys. iNControL, I'm sure, just was super upset about that. That little hole in his base wall there just really bit him in the butt. But, LosirA took a full advantage of that and took out the robotics facility, a whole bunch of probes, 2 different times. Oh, it was glorious for the Zerg that day. So LosirA took an early lead. Tal'Darim Altar, game number 2, we did witness iNControL actually pull off some very nice Dark Templar harassment in all 3 mineral lines at the same time. Well, 2.5. He took out 1 hatchery as it was morphing. So very, very nicely executed strategy on the part of iNControL. Now here we are today on Metalopolis, and I've already explained about the supply depot in previous videos. If you're not too familiar with it, maybe you should go watch some of those videos when we talk about it. Yeah, good stuff there. And iNControL, he's got the probe up here, hoping to deny the expansion. Again, this is something we've seen a couple different times from him in previous games, so not surprised we're seeing that. Now let's actually look at iNControL for a brief second here. We can see that he is going ahead with his gateway and the pylon up at the top of the ramp this time. Now this is different from game number 1 and 2, in that this map doesn't quite favor that heavy early macro play quite as much as, in comparison at least, to Shakura's Plateau and Tal'Darim Altar. Namely because the expansion is a lot more exposed than that map. You can see there's 2 major entrances, one right here, very wide point, and another one, a little bit smaller of a choke point, but still a very wide ramp, and also you do have the ledge up here. So it is a little bit more difficult to hold on to your natural, so I'm not surprised that we're seeing iNControL go at this route, which it looks like he is going to go ahead and go with a build that's going to involve both of his simulators before the cybernetics core is complete. So we might actually see some kind of tech play here, maybe an eventual expansion. I'm not too sure. We'll just wait and see, give that a minute or two. Whatever it is, though, we see that iNControL actually dropping a cybernetics core as well up here. I'm sure he'll cancel that in just a moment or two. Yeah, it looks like he is watching that right now. So up here, LosirA going ahead with the metabolic boost. You see he has transferred the drones back onto minerals, at least for the time being. Again, what are you going to do with the gas? I mean, you don't want it stockpiled sitting up when you could have used the extra minerals instead. So, oh man, it's getting down to the wire. Will this thing actually cancel? It's morphing in right now. Is it going to cancel it? Yes. That was a last millisecond cancel there. Very, very nicely done by iNControL. We'll watch this probe and see what he's going to be doing next. You can see the Protoss does have about 300 minerals saved up, so we are going to have 2 additional gateways going down. He could transition into maybe an expansion here in just a second. I'm not too sure. He's keeping that probe out there for some reason, though. Okay, there we go. There's the 4th gateway going down. So a economic 4 gate. Looking pretty good there. And, of course, Zerg, 1 Zergling down here, not so much to do anything other than just keep an eye on the expansion, just maybe see when it's actually going to go down. And he also is keeping a couple of Zerglings running around the middle of the map as well, not really worrying about the Xel'Naga watchtowers at this point. I'm sure as time goes on, these will be key positions for both players to try to control, as they do provide vision to both of the major highways leading to each other's bases. But for the time being, since there's not a lot of units floating around on the map, I don't think it's too high of a priority. The biggest priority right now for LosirA, you can see with these Zerglings, is trying to deny this expansion for as long as possible here. You see actually his is just a hair away from completion, and it looks like iNControL is going to go down right about the same time that hatchery is popped. So looking at the income right now, we can see the Zerg definitely does have a slight mineral advantage, about 100, 150 or so, and that's largely because, number one, 2 more harvesters, but more importantly, he's only mining off of 1 gas right now. Again, what would he really use the gas for? Looks like he's actually just going to go ahead and dump what little he has right now into possibly an upgrade, maybe going into lair tech once he's got a few more drones down here and can probably cap a couple additional Vespene geysers. As right now, I'm pretty convinced that he knows he's not going to be in any immediate danger, and yet, look at that. That's indicative of that thought process right there. He saw iNControL, he saw the forces he had, sentries. Okay, yes, throw down a ton of force fields, but as far as straight-up firepower goes in a prolonged fight, I wouldn't want to trust a bunch of little light units without a lot of hit points when you don't have any meat shields to back it up or any heavy support, such as the Zealots or the Stalkers. He certainly is Johnny on the spot with the upgrades, though. Actually, that's one thing I've noticed about iNControL. Pretty much every game I've watched him in, he is always right on key with those upgrades, getting them as soon as possible and getting them often. So definitely a good thing in that regard. A nice little wall here he has created with the pylon forge and cannon, so any Zergling run-bys that may try to be attempted are going to have to go around the long way through the mineral line, so he might actually decide to put another couple structures right here. It's not uncommon to see him put something right here, and a couple other buildings right there. So now he actually does have a little bit more in the way of firepower. That's definitely going to help him out. He might actually, he might decide to go put a little pressure. I don't know. Let's actually look and see what has he seen recently. Oh, he's putting pressure on the tower. The tower goes down. Yeah, I had to find something to get excited about, right? All right, so we're about 10 minutes into the game here. Looking at LosirA. Ooh, hallucination. Nice. Looking at LosirA. All right, so we got a few roaches right now. Good for defensive purposes. And, ooh, another hatchery going down. So he's probably going to be sticking in Tier 2 for at least a little while. I mean, you look at it right now, he's got the Roach Warren. He got it a little bit early. Well, not early per se, but earlier than the point that we are by about a couple minutes or so. And he's also got the melee attacks level 1 upgrade. Definitely going to be focusing on some heavy Zergling usage here, which I think is a really smart move considering how far away these players are from each other. It's cross positions, so mobility is definitely a factor in this matchup. Of course, we can expect to see LosirA continue to expand that creep outward, as he has already done a fairly good job of doing so thus far, only having a couple creep tumors idle here for a minute or two, but that is perfectly acceptable, as here comes the Phoenix, going to be coming over there scouting, and let's actually watch and see what he spots. A second Phoenix is going to head up here as well, and it will see this expansion going down. We can just witness the drone count as he passes over it, 66 to 45. As here comes the main one now, spots the Hydralisk in. I think oh man, he didn't spot the Hydralisk in. Are you serious? Oh man, that is just killer. He's got to spot that. Well, not got to, but it's going to be pretty critical if he wants to create a nice sized army. There you go. There we go. I say that because you look down here, and he's got the robotics facility, and he's sitting on about 400 minerals, 400 gas, but we don't see a robotics bay. Now, he's probably waiting for some information, maybe see what the unit composition was, whether he was building any additional tech structures that would indicate what the composition of the army would be in the coming minutes. And we see LosirA now doing something very smart. He's dropping a Spire after those scouts have disappeared. So this will allow him to actually switch into, maybe ninja tech and to get some mutas for harassment. Certainly, again, it comes down to mobility. Some harassment in the mineral line, very effective. You don't see any defenses here. We don't see any blink ability on the Stalkers, so they would be rather slow to react, having to walk all the way around here. So that would actually be pretty effective. So there we go with the first weapons and armor upgrade. Can't talk today. As we see, once again, he is actually going to be scouting. And here comes the Zerg player. Again, he's been doing pretty good so far with the scouting. He's generally keeping up with it pretty well, sacrificing a few Zerglings here and there. And, oh, nice. Phoenix caught that drone just as it was heading down to that high yield. So I'm not sure if he was actually paying attention to it or not, but I'm sure that he saw that little unit marching down there. And now LosirA is going to be trying to scout with the Changeling. He should be able to find out every little piece of information up here at the top, and let's watch and see if it actually is able to successfully infiltrate the Protoss army. It's getting down to the bottom of the ramp. Oh, taken out. iNControL smash. LosirA does have good Overlord positioning. You can actually spot them all around the map. I'm just looking at his vision right now, and you can see he's got a nice range of vision across. He's got the back areas here covered as well as one Overlord just outside of the range of the expansion. Actually, you might see it. Yeah, he spots it right there, but not going to be a massive deal. What is a massive deal are a couple Zerglings that just died a very explosive, bloody death. Poor little guys. Rest in peace. More importantly, up here we do the Zerg player LosirA pushing forward with the Zerglings and the Roaches. But look at this, man. Oh, wow. LosirA with the Zerglings running around, keeping iNControL busy here in the natural, while he was able to force a cancellation of that expansion up there at the top. Very well executed by LosirA. Nice little mind game there, as the first Colossus has now popped out, and we can see that extended thermal lance is just about complete. Yep, sure enough, pops up right there, and continues right on into weapons too. Uh-oh, iNControL supply blocked. Look at LosirA's money right now. Like, seriously? He's sitting on about 1,200 minerals, 1,500 gas, and he's almost supply blocked. I have a feeling that this is going to go, at least for a while, in favor of LosirA, simply because of the income. I mean, he's got the high yield, which is now hashed. He hasn't saturated it yet, but he's still got 3 bases up here compared to iNControL and his soon-to-be 3. We'll give that just a moment or two. Looks like he's actually going to push out. Pretty big encounter here, folks. Zerglings actually dying fairly quickly, running down the ramp 2 and 3 at a time, and trying to get us around, but not actually doing a very good job of it. Looks like he's just kind of charging in there. Loses a lot of units, loses a lot of those frontline units, but looks like he might actually be successful in saving some of the Hydras. No, he's going to use those as well. What is he going to take out? I think he's focusing down the Immortal first. Oh, so very close. It does go down, but at what cost? Look at that. Say at what cost, and we see he actually just popped up 22 Mutalisks there while that was going on. And you look at iNControl's army, we can actually just look at the unit composition and compare this as we're watching them march upward. 19 Stalkers, that's it. As far as AA goes. Yeah, he does have a couple sentries, but, you know, Guardian Shield would definitely help out. He does have enough energy for it. He's taking out the expansion that doesn't have any drones right now. Yes, this is an important thing, but oh, here come the Zerglings. Looks like they're actually going to draw the attention of the Stalkers. Look at that. I think a lot of those Stalkers back there are actually shooting at the Zerglings up front. Broodlings also, it looks like they're going to be stalling the Stalkers as the Mutas. There's just so many of them, man. So many Mutas. Wow. Colossus is going to be going down. That's pretty much a no-brainer right there. Well, of course, I say that, and now this Colossus with 29 hit points is just marching free. Like, seriously? Is it going to go down? There we go. That thing should have died like 10 seconds ago. All 3 Colossi have now been defeated, and LosirA is just thinking to himself, like, alright, well, I got this big ball of Mutas, might as well just go and see whatever I can do, what damage I can possibly create, what havoc I can tear in this base. And iNControl's response, he does have the Blink upgrade now, so that is very good. That's going to be essential in countering and trying to stay in this game for at least another while. I say a little while because a bunch of Zerglings are getting ready to run into the expansion that he just placed. He is responding by sending all the Stalkers. There goes the Blink right there, blowing that, and immediately after, LosirA comes in here with a bunch of Mutalisks. Perfect timing on that. He knew that iNControL would have to respond like that, and just beautifully executed. And at this point, you see he's got so many Mutas that he can just easily handle this small number of Stalkers, even with the Blink upgrade. Yep, see iNControL trying to pull them back to the cannon, but oh man, I really don't know if iNControL is going to be able to come out of this alive. You see he's lost almost all of his probes here at this expansion. 41 to 82. Zerg once again completely maxed and is just throwing Zerglings across the map. I mean, I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. You can just look at the units lost tab and see. Units killed, 279 to 82. Whew. But you know what? It's looking better and better there. Little units killed thing. A-OK for LosirA. I think he's happy with where this game has gone. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for iNControL. It was an honor and a pleasure. I wish you the best for the remainder of the tournament. That is one of the reasons why I love that this guy is involved with esports. He gives it a really awesome name. So, very nicely played there by LosirA. A definite win at MLG for Incredible Miracle. A win at PR for iNControL and Evil Geniuses in general. Alright guys, that's going to conclude this best of 3 match series. Stay tuned for more MLG coverage, and I'm out.